Okay. Let's see. Okay.
One day.
Was his speech only that long? Hi, Broken. I'm just gonna be listening to some Martin Luther King Jr. speeches, but yeah, if you want to hang out, you don't have to. I just figured, honor this man and everything he's done. So that's what I'm gonna be doing. And I'm making a sign for my door. I just don't know what to make it of. So I'm just trying to get inspiration for it too. But yeah. You're ripping stitches? Oh, what are you making? I'm gonna go get a paper. Hang on.
At this time, I have the honor to present to you the moral leader of our nation. I have the pleasure to present to you Dr. Martin.
Sorry. Okay. Hi, Honey Badger. Oh, you're taking names off uniforms.
In what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
And then I'm gonna play a documentary after, like in the background.
50 years ago,
This is the I Have a Dream speech
a great American in
on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial right now.
Signed the Emancipation
And thank you,
Proclamation.
Sunflower.
This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long night of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lonely island of poverty.
Hi, Lip Glossy.
In the midst of a vast ocean
How
of
are you?
material prosperity. 100 years later, the The Negro is still languished in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. And so we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we've
I'm not
come to our
good, if
nation's
I'm being
capital
honest. I'm not doing
to
good.
cash a check. When the architects of our
But
republic
it's okay.
wrote the
Thank you for
magnificent
asking,
words
though.
of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the
Thank
pursuit
you.
of happiness. It is
I appreciate you,
obvious
look,
today
Lassie. I do.
that America has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check. A check which has come back marked insufficient funds.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's a lot. It's a... like, even my life's about to change drastically, and I don't think I'm ready.
That the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of this nation. So we've come to cash this check, a check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and the security of justice. We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now.
Yeah,
This is no time
it can be uncomfy, but sometimes it's,
the luxury of cooling off or to take the tranquilizing drug
I
of
don't know. It's a lot, I mean, when you go through, I don't know, grief and then change and then
the time
like everything in between, it can just be a lot,
Now is the time
Oh, thanks,
to
Broken.
rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. Now is the time.
I've always admired Martin Luther King because,
From the quicksands of racial injustice to the
I don't know, as a kid, I always thought this was so important, even to like listen to him,
reality for all of God's children.
I met his
It would
wife
be fatal for the nation
before she passed.
the urgency of the moment. This sweltering summit of the Negro's legitimate discontent will not pass until
She was a really
an
kind lady.
invigorating autumn of freedom and equality.
Oh, thanks, Broken.
1963 is not an end, but a beginning. Those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening if the nation returns to business as usual.
I went to the Martin Luther King museum and where his house was and his monument and everything.
There will be neither rest nor tranquility in America until
And even as a young kid, he was my favorite. Yeah. Yeah, lip glossy. That's a lot.
Until the bright day of justice emerges. But that is something that I must say to my people who stand on the one threshold which leads into the palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. could ever conduct our struggle on the high
Thank you,
plane
look
of
classy.
dignity and discipline.
Means a lot.
We must not allow our creative protest to degenerate into physical violence. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. The marvelous new militancy which has engulfed the Negro community must not lead us to a distrust of all white people. For many of our white brothers, as evidenced by their presence here today, have come to realize that their destiny is tied up with our destiny. They have come to realize that their freedom is inextricably bound to our freedom. We cannot walk alone. And as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. We cannot turn back. There are those who are asking the devotees of civil rights, when will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors.
Yeah.
Police
Oh,
brutality.
thanks, low classy.
We can never be satisfied.
I think I'm
As
just
long
in
as
a,
our body is heavy with the
like, I'm in a
fatigue of
spot
travel,
where,
cannot gain lodging in the
like, I have,
motels of the
here, I'll
highways
turn it
and the
down for a sec.
hotels of the cities.
Like, I haven't been this low and I don't know how long.
We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro's basic
Like,
mobility is
not
from
even
a
just like in
small
my
ghetto
personal
to a
life, but
larger farm.
the world right now,
We
you
can
know?
never be satisfied
It's
as
scary.
long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed
And
of their dignity
I
by
don't know.
signs stating for whites only.
Trying to protect yourself and your neighbors, but also keeping your emotional
We
side,
cannot be satisfied as long as a
like,
Negro
keep your cup
in
full,
Mississippi
you know?
cannot vote and a Negro in New York believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, no, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. I am not unmindful that some of you have come here out of great trials and tribulations. Some of you have come fresh from narrow jail cells. Some of you
Yeah,
have
it's
come
true, Lip
careless by
Classy.
your quest for freedom.
It's true.
Left you battered by the storms of
I have to remember that
persecution.
too. I keep forgetting, like,
Battered by
it's
the
the
winds
beginning of
of
the year,
brutality.
you know?
You have been the veterans
Exactly
of creative
broken.
suffering.
Exactly.
Continue to work with
Something
the
I need
pain.
to work on for
That
sure.
unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to Mississippi. Go back to Alabama. Go back to South Carolina. Go back to Georgia. Go back to Louisiana. Go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities. Knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friend,
Things
even
broken.
though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Oh, here we go.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, The sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day, even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream.
Hi, Violet.
My poor little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Isn't that sad? Like, we're not even there yet.
I have a dream that
Me
one
too.
day,
Me too.
down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification. One day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted. Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, "My country tears to thee. Sweet land of liberty."
Yeah, me too. I'm crying right now.
Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's bride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. And so let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire, let freedom ring. From the mighty mountains of New York, let freedom ring. From the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania, let freedom ring. From the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, let freedom ring. From the curvaceous slopes of California. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from Lookout Mountain of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens, when we allow freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Oh my God. It's just so sad we're not there yet. You know, I mean, at least we're getting there, but at the same time, like, it's so disappointing, you know? Hi, Mama. You were just about to message me. Sorry, I was looking at the TV. I don't think, like, I don't know. I mean, I've seen I know it is. It's really disheartening. And I mean, even with all the drama that's happening right now, right? Like with all of this horrible things that are happening to everybody, this day it should be a reflection on who we are and where we need to be and where we want to be. And I don't think, as I'm scrolling the app and everything today, I don't see hardly anything about him today. Yeah, they just don't want it. Oh yeah, you're fine. I mean, like even right now, there's, like I know Scammy is live right now. Thanks, Mama. And people, they're chit chatting. But why not just? I don't know. I don't know. I'm really disappointed. I'm really sad from what I've seen all over. I don't understand. I don't understand why there's so much animosity, there's so much hate right now. Why? I don't I and it started so bad and it keeps getting bad, and it's like everybody's hurt, every single person. It was reported. Oh my god. It I don't know. When I went to, I think it was the first inauguration, George W. Bush's inauguration. I went to both of them, but the first one, when I was flying home, because my dad, he worked for Delta. He's retired now, but he so we flew out there just for the day. Like we took a red eye and we went out to DC, and like we didn't even get to stay for the parade after the inauguration. Like we just immediately went back to the airport, and we were going to stay the night in Atlanta. So when we got on the plane, there were so many Secret Service people and so many bodyguards and everything, and nobody really understood until Coretta Scott King came up and sat in first class. And so everybody was kind of like, it was so cool because it was like a piece, it was a reference that was on the plane. And she sat down, and then Jimmy Carter followed her because their families are really close. And he's like the most kind man, like the most like one of my favorite presidents next to Teddy Roosevelt. And he started at the back of the plane, and he came to each seat, and he shook everybody's hand. And when he shook my hand, I was in awe because, again, being a U.S. history buff, which you guys should know by now, and he held my hand, and he like stayed with me for just a second, like looked directly in my eyes, and introduced himself, and I introduced myself. And my sister, it was me, my sister, and my dad. And then Coretta Scott King, she was also coming up and down the aisles, and there was just a power in her presence. I can't explain it, but you could just feel how Martin, he's with her like at all moments. So to be able to meet her and have that moment, and then also with Jimmy Carter. So I've really always thought that this day was so important, and how horrible it was last year that we inaugurated a fucking rotten ass Cheeto that's been in the bottom of the couch for like 5 years, and your kid has been sucking on it and hands it to you like a gift, and you're like, where the fuck did this come from? And it's the president. Yeah, with good hearts. Yeah. And it's also how they present themselves when they come into a room. What kind of, I hate saying power, but it is at the same time. And that's what he does, or he did, you know. Hi, Bree. I went to both of them. The second time when we went to the inauguration, we actually were able to, like, my dad made it so that our flight wasn't until later in the afternoon. So we just, went to the monuments and sorry, I know I keep saying I seriously still need to work on that. And we went to all of the exhibits, like the Smithsonian and the National Mall and everything like that. And one of the coolest things was standing in the place where, like, in the same spot where Martin Luther King stood with his I Have a Dream speech. And it was just, it's so powerful. I wish people could acknowledge him more as the years go by, especially right now with ICE and everything they're doing. He had a quote that was something. Riots don't just come out of thin air. That's part of it that he says. Anyway, let's see. Oh, Obama had a speech 17 years ago. Holy shit. Obama speaks at Dr. King's church. Okay. You know what's also really cool is the large crowd that was there and how everybody was so respectful to each other. There was no, pushing and shoving. It's like a reverence. I don't know how to explain it. But we'll listen to Obama.
He is the embodiment of the American dream. Regardless of whether you are a Democrat, Republican, or an independent, when you think about the long history of America, Barack Obama.
So I'm making a sign for my door.
Proud, all Americans.
And I'm trying. Here, I'll turn it. Hold on. I'm trying to figure out, like, what I want it to say. I miss Barack Obama. And it's a heart, and I got it at the dollar store. And I wanted to say something kind of like with the theme of what's happening today. So I was like, maybe I could do something like in like a safe space or something, or fuck ICE, or eat the rich. I want something that's gonna, I don't know, I think it's important. Hold on, eat the rich. I really find it important, if I have a space, I want to make sure people know that this is a safe space and that I'll stand up for my neighbors, I need to get a whistle. That's another thing. So I don't know, what do you guys think? Should I do like fuck ICE, or not free till we're all free, eat the rich? What's enough? Like, what are some things right now that are really, like, we're saying?
Memories that fill the space of this church.
I don't know. I can't think. And I mean, I can make a few of them. It's just a heart, and it's like simple wood, and it has like a string. It's really cool. And if I do like fuck ICE or something, I want to do it in like a pretty cursive. So it almost looks like I thought maybe like a cookie or like a little cake. Like those the buttercream cake art right now. I thought maybe decorating it like, oh, that's so cute. And then all of a sudden, fuck ICE or something like that. Hi, Dame. You want to lay down? Turn up the heat and melt some ice. Fuck ICE, man. But then I worry, like, would I get in trouble for a sign that says fuck ICE? I don't think so, but I don't know. Like a cross stitch. Yeah, kind of like that. But it's like a It's like, it looks like a cake. Like, you know those, like, those really cute cakes? Like, they have frosting all around, and then it has, like, pretty frosting cursive. Something like that, but maybe that's, like, overdone. Finding language that says fuck ice. Then I want to figure out, like, what colors to do. Like, maybe I could do a black heart and then white bold lettering, or white with black bold lettering.
Maybe the cracks in those walls would start to show. If teenagers took rides from north to south, maybe a few bricks would come loose.
I really want to go to the Gettysburg. I think it's so important.
That they too had a stake in the impending battle. The walls would begin to sway. And if enough Americans were awakened to injustice, if they joined together north and south, rich and poor,
I took most of my paints over to my grandma's, so I don't.
Perhaps that wall would come tumbling down.
Oh, that would be cute, lip glossy. You know, cross stitch is actually pretty easy. It's and I'm not saying that as, I don't know. Sorry, I'm like super foggy. Cross stitch is so fun because all it is you have a pattern and it's just little X's. Like just a little X here, a little X there. I have so many that I haven't finished. I have a Big Lebowski one. Oh yeah, lip glossy. I can see for sure. It looks intimidating, absolutely. Same thing like with cross stitch with Fire Queen teaching that. I get intimidated with cross stitching more than, or not cross stitching, crochet, I'm sorry. My old friend, she taught me how to cross stitch, and it's just so cutie. Like you can get a PDF and like you count all of the little squares of, I don't know, it's just fun sometimes if you want to hyper focus on something. And I'm doing a Star Wars one too. Pickle Rick, Star Wars, and something Big Lebowski. Anyway, sorry. Yes, I know what. Yes, I do. I know exactly what you're talking about. In the cards? Who are you? Bye. Yes, I know exactly. They're so cute. They're so cute. It's like a tulip hat, isn't it? Isn't that what, like a tulip hat or something? Nice. You'd wear it every day. Yeah.
When mothers can't afford a doctor, when their children are stricken with illness. We have a deficit in this country when we have Scooter Libby, justice for some, and Gina, justice for others. When our children see hanging nooses from a schoolyard tree today, in the present, in the 21st century, we have a deficit when homeless veterans sleep on the streets of our cities, when innocents are slaughtered in the deserts of Darfur, when young Americans serve tour after tour after tour after tour of duty in a war that should have never been authorized and should have never been waged. We have an empathy deficit in this country that has to be closed.
I'm gonna go get some paint really quick. I'll be right back.
You have a deficit when it takes a breach in the levees to reveal the breach in our compassion, when it takes a terrible storm to reveal the hungry that God calls on us to feed, the sick that he calls on us to care for, the least of these that he commands that we treat as our own. So we have a deficit to close. We have walls, barriers to justice and equality that must come down. And to do this, we know that unity is the great need of the hour. However, all too often when we talk about unity in this country, we've come to believe that it can be purchased on the cheap. We've come to believe that racial reconciliation can come easily, that it's just a matter of a few ignorant people trapped in the prejudices of the past, and that if the demagogues and those who would exploit our racial divisions will simply go away, then all our problems will be solved. All too often, we seek to ignore the profound structural and institutional barriers that stand in the way of ensuring opportunity for all of our children, or decent jobs for all of our people, or health care for those who are sick. We long for unity, but we are not willing to pay the price that's required. Of course, true unity cannot be so easily purchased.
Okay. Sorry.
It starts with
Sorry.
changing attitudes. It starts with changing
I know,
our
I do
hearts
too.
and changing our minds, broadening our spirit. It's not easy to stand in somebody else's shoes. It's not easy to see past our own differences. We've all encountered this in our own lives. But what makes it even more difficult is that we have a politics in this country that seeks to drive us apart, that puts up walls between us. We are told that those who differ from us on a few things differ from us on all things. That our problems are the fault of those who don't think like us, or look like us, or come from where we do. The welfare queen, she's taking our money. The immigrant, he's taking our jobs. The believer condemns the non-believer as immoral.
That's my paint. I'm not
The
farting.
non-believer chides the believer for being intolerant. And for most of this country's history, we in the African American community have been at the receiving end of man's inhumanity. And all of us understand intimately the insidious role that race still sometimes plays on the job and in the schools, in our healthcare system and in our criminal justice system. And yet, if we are honest with ourselves, we must admit that none of our hands are entirely clean. If we're honest with ourselves, we'll acknowledge that our own community has not always been true to King's vision of a beloved community. If we're honest with ourselves, we have to admit that there have been
A
times
ruffle
when we
hat.
should
Oh, okay,
embrace
yeah.
instead of embracing
Because I've seen the... Oh, shit. Sorry. I've seen the tulip one. A ruffle hat. Yes.
For too long, some of us have seen immigrants
I got you.
only as competitors for jobs instead of companions in the fight for opportunity.
I'm not farting. It's my...
Every day, our politics fuels and exploits.
I know. I can't either. I'm ready. I'm excited, actually. I'm so excited.
Gender and party. It is played on
Oh.
television, it is
You know what I did?
sensationalized
I
by
took
the
off the
media.
rear view mirror.
Last week,
I did.
it crept into
I did. The past does not
charges
define me.
countercharges
But it actually
that
does,
serve
because
to
that's what
obscure
makes you who
issues
you are.
instead of illuminating
Oh,
the critical
yeah.
choices we face as a nation. None of our hands are clean. So let us say that on this day of all days, each of us carries with us the task of changing our hearts and minds. The divisions, the stereotypes, the scapegoating, the ease with which we blame the plight of ourselves on others, all of that distracts us from the common challenges that we face. War and poverty, inequality, and injustice. We can no longer
Oh, I mean, there's so
build
many.
ourselves up
Like,
by tearing each other down.
I know
We
she
can no
has
longer afford to
the,
traffic in lies
fuck,
or
it's like a
fear
gingerbread one.
or
She has
hate.
a teddy bear one.
Because the poison that we must purge from our politics, the wall
Shit, she has a
that we must
lot.
tear down before
I think
the
everybody
outpost
kind of
are
has a list.
Because if Dr. King could love his jailer, If you could call on the faithful who once
I took all of my painting stuff
those who had set
to my
dogs and fire
grandma's,
hoses upon them,
so I don't have a lot of paint.
what divides us
But what I do have, I'm going to use right now.
our wounds and erase the sympathy deficit that exists in our hearts. But if changing our hearts and our minds is the first critical step, we cannot stop there. It's not enough to bemoan the plight of the poor in this country or remain unwilling to push our elected officials to provide the resources to fix our schools. It's not enough to decry the disparities of healthcare and yet allow the insurance companies and the drug companies to block real reform in our healthcare system. It's not enough. It's not enough for us to abhor the costs of a misguided war, and yet we continue to allow ourselves to be driven.
Let's see if I have
that sees the threat of an attack as a way to scare our votes instead of a call to come together in a common effort. Scripture tells us that we are judged not just by word but by deed. And if we are truly to bring about the unity that is needed, that is so crucial in this time, we have to find it within ourselves to act on what we know, to understand that living up to this country's ideals and its possibilities is going to require great effort and great resources, sacrifice and stamina. We can't pass a law called No Child Left Behind and then leave the money behind. That is not a serious effort in bringing about the unity that is needed. We can't celebrate Dr. King's dream and yet still have insufficient funds to cash that promissory note that was promised at the beginning of this nation. And that is what is at stake in this great debate we are having today. The changes that are needed are not just a matter of tinkering around the edges. They will not come if politicians simply tell us what we want to hear. All of us will be called upon to make some sacrifices.
Let me try some other paint.
None of us will be exempt from responsibility. We have to fight to fix our schools.
I know, we need Obama again, huh?
To be better parents,
I miss him so much.
And put away the video game.
Like, I feel so proud that I got to vote for him. You know what I mean? Like, it's such an honor to do that. Voting is, like, one of my favorite things. Even though it sucks with the world that we are in right now.
Criminal justice system. But we also have to acknowledge the deep-seated violence that still resides in our own communities.
But it's so important.
In too many of the hearts of our young people,
you know, there's too many women sacrifice their life to make it so that I could vote. So
that's how we're going to bring about the change that we seek. That's how Dr. King led this country through the wilderness. He did it with words that he spoke not just to the children of slaves, but the children of slave owners. Words that inspired not just black, but also white, not just Christian, but also Jew and Muslim and Buddhist and atheists, not just the Southerner, but also the Northerner. He led with words, but he also led with deeds. He also led by example. He led by marching, going to jail and suffering threats and beatings and
I know that's right.
From his family. He led by taking a stand against a war, knowing full well that it would diminish his popularity. He led by challenging our economic structures, understanding that it would cause discomfort. Dr. King understood that unity cannot be won on the cheap, that we would have to earn it through great effort and determination. That's the unity, the hard-earned unity that we need right now. That is the effort, the determination that can transform blind optimism into hope. You know, people have remarked on the fact that I talk about hope a lot in my campaign. You know, they tease me a little bit. Some have been scornful. They say say, oh, he's talking about hope again. He's so idealistic. He's so naive. He's a hope monger. That's okay. It's true. I talk about hope, Pastor. I talk about it a lot. Because the odds of me standing here today are so small, so remote, and I couldn't have gotten here without some hope.
Hi. How are you, beautiful?
My daddy left me when I was 2 years old. I needed some hope to get here. I was raised by a single mother. I needed some hope to get here. I got in trouble when I was a teenager.
Are you still being bullied, homie?
Folks don't like to talk about.
Because I need to, if I need to help you.
I wasn't born into money.
Oh, Chloe.
A great wealth.
I absolutely adore you.
A great privilege.
So grateful that we met.
I was given love, an education.
Can you believe it's been almost 2 years? It's nuts.
What I got. That's my birthright. So I talk about hope. I put hope on my campaign signs.
Talkies Dynamite.
My name on them sometimes. This is hope.
Are you still addicted to, oh, my doll? Oh my God, I feel you.
Folks don't know who they're
Are you still addicted to Dr. Pepper?
So you know.
Remember when I gave you some like I don't know, it was like $10 or something to go get Dr. Pepper.
Wrote a book called The Audacity
Hi, Mama.
of Hope. And so I'm puzzled then when people, some of the other candidates, make a mockery of the idea. They say I'm peddling false hopes. Get a reality check, they tell me.
Hi, Mama. Or hi, Pop. Love you.
Try to understand what they're saying. The implication is that if you are hopeful, that you somehow must be engaging in wishful thinking. Your head must be in the clouds. That you must be passive and just sit back and wait for things to happen to you. That seems to be the implication. And so I have to explain to people that's not what hope is.
God damn it. I have like a big ass thing of fucking white paint. I thought I left it here. I guess it's at Grandma's.
That stand in your way. Hope's just the opposite. I know how hard it will be to provide health care to every single American. The insurance companies, drug companies, they don't want to give up their profits. I know it won't be easy to have an energy policy that makes sense for America because the oil companies like writing the energy bills. I know that alleviating poverty or making sure all our children can learn or eliminating the scourge of racism in our society, none of those things lend themselves to simple solutions. I know because I fought on the streets as a community organizer in poor neighborhoods on the south side of Chicago, alongside those without jobs or without prospects for the future. I have fought in the courts as a civil rights attorney for those who have been denied opportunity on the job or denied access to the ballot box. I've seen good legislation die because, well, I've seen that too. I've seen good legislation die because good intentions weren't enough, because they weren't fortified with a political majority and political will. I've seen this country's judgment clouded by fear. I know how easily a country can be misled when it is afraid. I know how hard it is. Everybody here understands how difficult it is to bring about true change, change that we can believe in. But I also know this, that nothing in this country worthwhile has ever happened except somebody somewhere decided to hope. That's how this country was founded, because a group of patriots decided they were going to take on the British Empire. Nobody was putting their money on them. That's how slaves and abolitionists resisted that evil system. And that's how a new president was able to chart a course to ensure that this nation would no longer remain half slave and half free. That's how the greatest generation defeated fascism and overcame a Great Depression. That's how women won the right to vote. That's how workers won the right to organize. That's how young people and old people and middle-aged folks were willing to walk instead of ride the bus. And folks came down on freedom rides, and they marched, and they sat in, and they were beaten, and fire hoses were set on them, and dogs were set on them, and some went to jail, and some died for freedom's cause. That's what hope is. Imagining and then fighting for and struggling for and sometimes dying for what didn't seem possible before. There's nothing naive about that. There are no false hopes in that. I don't believe in false hopes. Imagine if John F. Kennedy looked up at the moon and said, well, that's too far. False hopes, we can't go there. And Dr. King had stood on the Lincoln Memorial and said, y'all go home. We can't overcome. There's no such thing as false hopes. But what I know deep in my heart is that we cannot bring about change unless we are unified, unless we do it together. Change does not happen from the top down in America or anywhere else. It happens from the bottom up. It happens because ordinary people dream extraordinary things.
That's right.
Because all of you decide that change must come. That I know. It wasn't just one voice. It wasn't just one voice that shouted out before the walls of Jericho. All the voices came together. A chorus of voices. That's what gives me hope. Not just those who ascend to high office, but the changes that are happening in ordinary places. The stories that give me my hope don't happen in the spotlight. When I think about Dr. King, I suspect he was sustained not by having dinner with presidents, not by getting a Nobel Peace Prize, but coming back to church and seeing the mothers of the church and the deacons, those who maintained their dignity, were standing up straight in the face of injustice. That's where he drew his hope. He saw God in their faces.
You know, I think we'll listen to some. We'll listen to some like historical stuff. I know there's not like. I know this is kind of boring for a lot of people, but I don't know. Just a nice space if you don't want to listen to drama and everything. I think Mallory's holding like a nice live too. Okay. Disney Plus, there's a lot of fun shows on here. They have Schoolhouse Rock, and that's what I want to listen to. there it is. My family and I, we used to have a VHS tape of the history one. It's my favorite. Let's see. Episode 3. I can't remember. Oh, yeah, okay. Here we go. Again, like I said, I know it's kind of boring, but
America Rock starts with No More Kings.
okay, you don't have to stay, I guess. I don't know why I'm insecure about it.
Rocking and a rolling, smishing and a splashing over the horizon. What can it be? The pilgrims sailed the sea to find a place to call their own. In their ship Mayflower, they hope to find a better home. They finally knocked on Plymouth Rock, and someone said,
We're there.
it may not look like home, but at this point I don't care. Oh, they were missing mothering land. They swore their loyalty until the very end. Anything you say, King, it's okay, King. You know it's kind of scary on your own. Gonna build a new land the way we planned. Could you help us run it till it's grown? They planted corn, you know, they built their houses one
Oh,
by
but you don't need to stay, Mama. It's
one.
okay.
They worked until the colonies were done. They looked around, yeah, up and down, and someone said, hooray! If the king could only see us now, he would be proud of us today. They knew that now they'd run their own land. But George the Third
This is such a cool way to learn.
to the end. Anything I say, do it my way now. Anything I say, do it my way. Don't you get to feeling independent, cause I'm gonna force you to obey. He taxed their property,
He didn't give them any choice.
and back in England, he didn't give them any voice.
That's called taxation without representation, and it's not fair.
But when the colonies complained,
The king said, I don't care.
he even has the nerve to tax our cup of tea. To put it kindly, King, we really don't agree. Gonna show you how we feel.
We're gonna dump this tea.
And turn this harbor into the biggest cup of tea in history. They wanted no more mothering hand. They knew the time had come for them to take command. It's very clear you're being attacking. No matter what you say, we won't.
I don't know. I don't think so. No, that's the Constitution.
We're gonna run it all out.
It's on here, though.
No more king.
Gonna elect a president.
No more king.
He's gonna do what the people want.
No more king.
He's gonna run things our way. Nobody's gonna tell us what to do.
Rocking and a rolling, swishing and a splashing over the horizon. What can it be?
Looks like it's going to be a free country. This is also the show that does the I'm Just a Bill. Which is,
You like to hear the shot heard round the world.
oh, this one's good.
The British are coming, the British are coming. Now the ride of
Paul Revere set the nation on its ear.
and the shot at
Lexington heard round the world.
when the British fired in the early dawn.
The War of Independence had begun.
The die was cast, the rebel flag unfurled. And on to Concord marched the foe to seize the arsenal. There you know, waking folks, searching all around. Till our militia stopped them in their tracks. At the old North Bridge, we turned them back and chased those redcoats back to Boston town. And the shot heard around the world was the start of the revolution. The men and women were ready on the move. Take your powder, take your gun, report to General Washington.
Isn't it funny that George Washington didn't, like, want to be president?
Even though we lost, it was quite a thrill. The rebel
It was wise.
Outnumbered and low on ammunition as the British stormed his position. He said,
Hold your fire until you see the whites of their eyes.
Though the next few years were rough, General Washington's men proved they were tough. Those hungry, ragged boys would not be beat. One night they crossed the Delaware, surprised the Hessians in their lair.
And at Valley Forge, they just bundled up their feet.
Now the shot heard round the world was the start of the revolution. The Minutemen were ready on the move. Take your blanket, take your son, report to General Washington. We got our rights and now it's time to prove. Well, they showed such determination that they won the admiration of countries across the sea like France and Spain, who loaned the colony ships and guns to
Put the British on the run.
and the Continental Army on its feet again. And though they lost some battles too, the Americans swore they see it through. Their raiding parties shipped up, hit and run. At Yorktown, the British could not retreat. Armed up by Washington and the French fleet. Cornwallis surrendered, and finally we had won. Hooray! On the shot heard round the world. To the end of the revolution, the Continental rabble took the day.
Mama, you don't need to worry. It's okay. It is okay. Don't feel like you have to explain or anything. You're fine. America, let freedom ring. I know.
The preamble.
Do you know about the USA? Do you know about the continent?
Tell me about the Constitution.
Hey, learn about the USA.
In 1787, I'm told our founding fathers did agree to write a list of principles for keeping people free. The USA was just starting out a brand new country, and so our people spelled it out, the things
Oh, stop. No.
and they put those principles down on paper and called it the Constitution. And it's been helping us run our country ever since then. The first part of the Constitution is called the Preamble.
Oh, yeah, this is the one.
It tells what those founding fathers
This is the one,
set out
Mama.
to do.
We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, to ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. Sad, I'm more in that kind of country we're supposed to have, you know?
1787, I'm told our founding fathers all sat down and wrote a list of principles that's known all around. The USA was just starting out a whole brand new country, and so our people spelled it out. They wanted a land of liberty.
You know what
And
sucks?
the preamble goes like this.
I know, I have faith too.
We the people,
In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility. I don't know, it like... Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's... Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Constitution for the United States of America.
I think it's some... Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Hmm. Well, I think I'm gonna... Yeah.
And now, suffering till suffrage.
I think I'll log off and... So I love that you're in here, Mama. And people, like, it's so weird. Like, you have people that are like, oh, you know, I'm here for you, and then they don't want to hang out with you online, you know. I'm glad you're here, though. So yeah, I'm gonna log off. I love you too. But I'll talk to you soon. Love you.